Hey Calon Kids, I hope you're doing well. Off school, hey? How exciting. We have got stuff for you to do over the next couple of weeks. We've got videos to watch, we're going to have stories, and we're going to have craft. But today, because it's Mother's Day tomorrow, we are going to make a vase of flowers for Mammy. So go and get your stuff, go and get your paints, go and get your papers, because in a second, we are going to show you how you can produce this vase of flowers. Mammy is going to love it. So go and get ready. Okay, so we're going to do some Mother's Day crafts today, because obviously it's Mother's Day tomorrow. So we're just going to do some painting. We are going to use different things like, literally just look in your drawer, see what you can find. So this, I think, is a lollipop freezer thing. We got a party popper. I got a pipe cleaner. I couldn't think what that was called then. Plastic fork, and we got some cotton wool and obviously paintbrushes and things like that. So we are literally going to use what we can find in the drawer. So just go hunting. We've got our hands as well, so we can use our hands. So we are just going to do, as you saw earlier, the vase of flowers. But I'm just going to show you various different flowers that you can do to give you some ideas of what they might look like. So I've got a plate here, and then I've got some paint here as well that I will be using to paint my hands. I've washed my hands, so I'm ready to go. And now we're just going to do some various flowers. Do you know what? It doesn't really matter what they look like, because whatever you make for Mammy, she's going to be really pleased about anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my hand, because what you don't want to do is put your hand in the paint, because then you'll have so much paint on your hands that when you come to kind of put it down, it's all going to splodge. And as well as that, it'll take forever to dry. So I'm just painting my hand here now. Make sure that your hand is fully covered, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to do like a tulip type flower. So to do a tulip type flower, put your fingers all together and then we print. Then you need to wash your hands in between the different colours. Okay, so now I'm going to try and use this. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it in the paint. I've got a brush as well, so maybe just put a little bit of paint on it. And we're just going to do a flower shape. And then what you can do if you want to then, obviously, is get some bit of yellow and just put that in the middle. You can fill them in if you want, or you can leave them as they are. So basically, you do what you want, isn't it? So let's have a go. The same principle really with the party popper. This probably will work the same as well. So you just dip it in and then you just make your picture. And again, you can fill them in, or you can just kind of leave it as it is. The other thing I've got here, again, I don't know if this is going to work, is a plastic fork. So all I'm doing is I'm pressing the middle part of the fork down first and then kind of doing that sort of action so that you've got the corners going out. Do you know what I mean? And then you just do all the way around so that you're making a flower shape with the fork. Then what do we have? We've got some cotton wool. You just look in your drawer, see what's in your drawer and just try it. If it doesn't work, it's not a problem, because you can just start again. So obviously I'm just giving you some examples here now of what you can do. What I think I would do with that one is maybe get some more cotton wool into the orange and do the trumpet bit in the middle. So that's quite a cool daffodil. So that's all the printing stuff. I've also got a pipe cleaner. You could do, I suppose, is get a paintbrush, put some green on it, and maybe this could be the way of printing your stalk for the flowers. Does that make sense? And you could kind of do that then, which would be your stalk for your flowers. You could even, with your pipe cleaner, like a fern type plant, couldn't you? Because it's furry. You could do a couple of those as well in your flowers. Now, like I said, don't worry about getting messy. Mammy won't mind. That's quite cool as well. So then other things you can do, obviously you can get messy, as I'm beginning to do now. So make sure that in between all your colour changes, though, you do wipe your hands, either with a wet wipe or go and wash them, because otherwise all your colours are going to get mixed up. If you have got a bit of a soggy flower going on, then before you start kind of changing it or putting a middle to it, make sure it's dried thoroughly first. Okay, so you can be creative as well with your colours. So I've got red here and I'm mixing blue with it. Do you know what colour that makes? It makes purple. So we got purple here. So what I'm thinking in my head now is using my fingers, and we are going to do something like a foxglove. It goes like this, look. They're like little little individual flowers really, going down like a long stem. And then what you can do is back to your pipe cleaner again, is get the green going on down the middle using the pipe cleaner. So you could do flowers like that. You could have orange as well. That would be quite nice, I suppose, if we did an orange one like that. Like I've done here now, you can do it any colour. It hasn't got to be purple. It can be orange, it can be blue, whatever your favourite colour is. And remember, you can mix colours as well to make colours. So if you wanted pink, you'd put a little bit of white in with the red, and you can all mix up your colours and do whatever you want. So just experiment and play around with it. You should be fine. So that's the type of thing you can do there. You can also use the side of your finger. So let me see, what colour should we go for? Let's go for yellow. So I'm using different paint brushes because what you don't want to do is mix the colours up. But if you haven't got lots of different paint brushes, then just have a pot of water and just clean your paint brushes. So you can use the side of your finger and you can do this type of a flower, long petals out. So that's another type of flower that you can do. So once you've done all your different flowers, and like I said, you haven't got to stick with these, experiment, see what you can do. Then what you need to do then is decide which flowers you're going to put in your vase and then make your vase up. So if you go online onto Calon website, what you'll find there is resources for all the craft that we're going to do. And this week, what you need to look for is the vase. So what you need to do is ask Mammy and Daddy to print this off for you, and then you'll have it ready to colour. Mammy's with flowers, you'd be the one I'd pick. So we need to just colour that in really pretty, cut it out, and then we'll be sticking that onto our main picture a little bit later on. So I've got some felt tip pens, so you can use felt tip pens, you can use paint, whatever you want, and you just colour this vase as best you can that you think Mammy will like. So if she's got a favourite colour or a favourite pattern, then you can do that. Obviously, if you use paint, then make sure it dries before you do anything with it, because otherwise you're just going to kind of smear it all with your hands. But if you're using felt tip pens, as I'm about to now for the words, then obviously you can cut it out and stuff straight away. If you want to do it with me, then what best thing to do is watch me do it, pause the video, go and try it yourself, and then at least then you'll be able to keep up with me as we're going along. Okay, so once you've finished it and you're happy with your vase, then, and it's dry, make sure it's dry, then you can cut it out because we'll need this later. So once you've cut it out, you will have your vase. You can get rid of your bits of paper, put that somewhere to dry because we'll need that later. So now I need to decide out of the flowers we made earlier, which ones I'm going to use to put in our vase. So I think I'm going to go for the daffodil, and I think I might go for a couple of the foxglove type flowers, and I'm going to see how that turns out. So I've chosen my flowers now, so I'm going to start to put them all together on my main piece of paper. If you want to do the same, pause the video, and then when we come back, hopefully we'll be at the same stage. So once it's dried, because mine is still a little bit wet, once it's dried, we can then put on our vase. So we are going to glue it down. Just make sure that you've got all the edges glued down so that it doesn't start peeling up. And then we can place the vase over the flowers. Just make sure that all your stems go into the vase at the top here. We stick that down and then we are done. And I know that Mammy is gonna just love this because do you know what? A gift made by hand that you've taken your time over, that you've put thought into, is much more precious than anything you can buy. So Mammy is going to love this vase of flowers. So guys, that's us finished. This is the vase that we are going to give to Mammy tomorrow for Mother's Day. So I hope you've enjoyed painting it. I hope you've experimented with everything that you found in your drawer. And I hope you've really enjoyed this short time together. So make sure that you check in every Saturday at 3 o'clock because we are going to be doing videos, we are going to be doing stories, we're going to be doing more craft every week until we are back in Tots and Calon Kids. So when you've done your pictures, make sure that you get Mammy and Daddy to help you to load them onto Facebook and make sure you use the hashtag Calon Kids. Then that makes sure that we get to see everything you've done and we can share in what you've produced. Is that okay? Great. So we will see you next Saturday, 3 o'clock for the next bit of craft.